Oh, thanks for the introduction. Yes, I'm Tim. I'm a paramedic, but the paramedic bit is a bit of a midlife crisis after a few years previously doing bomb disposal and mine clearance work for Halo and other organisations in various places. So I'm kind of looking at this stuff from both lenses, if you like, the medical lens and the mine clearance lens. Speaking of the medical lens, if I could just take a moment to say, as a paramedic, now that I work for Halo, I actually don't do much clinical work anymore. And just listening to the first couple of presentations this morning, I just want to say it's a real privilege to be in a room surrounded by clinicians who really are getting hands-on and helping so many people. I can't say I envy you working in places like that, and I can only begin to imagine the stuff that you've borne witness to, so thank you all. This is Dr. Mervat Hilal, who's our Chief Medic in Syria.
صباح الخير جميعا. أنا دكتورة مرفت الهلال شيف ميديك إن سوريا. بشتغل حاليا بمحافظة إدلب. صار لي مع هالو تقريبا عام. أنا سعيدة جدا لكوني هنا. شكرا لحضوركم جميعا.
So Halo's already kind of been introduced. We've been around since 1988. We work in 30 countries all over the world. Pretty much anywhere there's been a conflict in the last 80 years. Down there in the Asia-Pacific region, we're clearing up landmines and bombs from the Second World War, to all the sort of post-colonial, Cold War situations in Sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East. Anywhere there's been a war, basically, we are there clearing up the bombs and the landmines and doing our best to educate the population about the risks that are there. In Syria,
هالو بدأت العمل في سوريا عام 2017. كان النشاط متركز فقط في محافظة إدلب حتى تحرير سوريا عام 2024. بدأنا العمل في مناطق أخرى. حاليا نعمل في درعا، دير الزور، حمص، حلب، ريف دمشق. تقريبا غطينا جميع المحافظات السورية. التخليص المجتمع من مخلفات الحرب، تأمين حياة آمنة.
So you'd be forgiven for wondering why a landmine clearance charity that doesn't really do clinical work are here talking to you guys at a MSF conference, but I know you know this, and it's stating the obvious, and we've just heard very eloquently from the previous speakers that children are so frequently the victims of this stuff. The evidence is there, the anecdotal evidence of the media and everything for the last few years, but also the academic evidence as well is there, and we know the numbers of children, and we just think as Halo that we should be doing something about it. We have a moral imperative to leverage our position in some of these places to actually do something about this. Dr. Mervat's just going to explain a couple of slides of data that we've received from some hospitals where we work.
هذه الإحصائيات من محافظة إدلب، من مشفى إدلب الجامعي. خلال شهر واحد تقريبا 20 إصابة، أغلبهم من الأطفال. 20 إصابة بين 9 أطفال مصابين من مخلفات الحرب. بعدها هاي الإحصائية من محافظة درعا، من مشفى درعا الوطني. كمان خلال شهر واحد حوالي 19 إصابة، بينهم 8 إصابات من الأطفال. نلاحظ أن النسبة عالية من الأطفال جدا. هذه الإحصائية في كل سوريا. نلاحظ أن عدد الإصابات 948، بينهم 359 طفل. الإصابة بالإضافة إلى عدد الوفيات 569، بينهم 161 طفل. أنا حابة أحكي قصة طفل كان عم يروح على مدرسته. يوم من الأيام حاول يختصر الطريق، فراح من طريق زراعي، وللأسف تعرض للإصابة بمخلفات الحرب، فقد ساقه. بعد فقد ساقه صار عنده فوبيا من الروح على المدرسة، بالإضافة أنه صار يحس أنه هو غير قادر على الدراسة بسبب فقد الطرف. بعد التشجيع والدعم حاولنا معه حتى رجع لمدرسته وكمل دراسته بالرغم من فقد الطرف. نتمنى ما حدا من أطفالنا يتعرض لهيك إصابة بفقد الطرف. شكرا.
What I find particularly powerful about those last couple of slides that Dr. Mervat talked through is the first two with just screenshots of an Excel spreadsheet that a hospital doctor in Idlib and also in Daraa sent to us out of just sheer desperation, like this, look at how many people we're seeing here, and can you please come and help us do something about it? And we really feel that sense of urgency coming from them. I spoke to a paramedic outside Idlib University Hospital a couple of months ago, and you know when you look at somebody and they've just got that look in their eyes where you know they've just seen everything that there is to see, and the poor guy was utterly exhausted and just reeling off a list of injuries that he's been to, which is really difficult as a father and a paramedic to look at. We just heard from Hannah. She is the lead author on this paper, and we've been working with Hannah and with Extract for the last year or so, really, to see how we can help and we can take on her kind of passion around the community first aid responder project and get it out there across Halo. And we decided that the best place to really get going with that would be in Syria. Halo is, as I said before, we're not a medical charity, so I'm talking to one half of the room here. We're not a medical charity. We're out there clearing up the bombs and landmines. Our focus is explosive ordnance disposal, mechanical clearance of landmines, and risk education. But because we're working in such dangerous places, we have to have robust pre-hospital sort of systems in place to protect our staff. So Dr. Mervat is responsible in Syria for making sure these guys are all trained and equipped and ready if one of their colleagues gets injured at work, which unfortunately is possible and does happen around Halo. And because we've got that and we do this training in these kind of austere environments, we just think we've got that presence and we've got that ability. We should be leveraging it. So that's what we're trying to do. Paul really helpfully used an analogy that I was also going to use. Having worked as a paramedic in a really high resource setting of central London for a few years, I think the only time I've ever had a success story with a cardiac arrest where the person has actually made it to hospital or maybe had a discharge from hospital after being resuscitated is when you arrive and the train station worker has already put the defibrillator on them and done some resuscitation before you get there. It's the same with this first aid stuff. We can't wait for an ambulance to arrive. These blast injuries and these trauma injuries, they're not like somebody falling over and breaking their hip back home and waiting for a couple of hours, which is terrible, but they're going to survive. Or a broken arm or something. This is a penetrating trauma where people are going to bleed to death, and we need to fill that gap in between the injury happening and an ambulance arriving, and we just think that this is the perfect way to do it for now. So this is where the community first aid responder training comes in. We will use our risk education people to come out and deliver this training to civilian people in the community just to fill that gap.
طبعا نحن كل الفرق عنا مدربة طبيا على التعامل مع الإصابة بمخلفات الحرب مثل حالات النزيف، البتر، تحرير المجرى الهوائي، طريقة النقل الآمنة. كل الفرق مدربة، لكن حاليا عم نعمل على نشاط جديد هو تدريب المجتمع المحلي على الإسعاف الأولي للتعامل مع إصابات الحرب. وهذا النشاط رح يكون عن طريق تدريب فرق الصحة المجتمعية على الإسعافات الأولية، وبالتالي هن بيقدموها للمجتمع المحلي بسبب قلة عدد المشافي أو بعد المشفى عن المناطق الريفية أو عدم توفر وسائل النقل. نحن عم نخطط لنعمل هذا المشروع حتى نساعد المجتمع المحلي بتقديم الإسعاف الأولي الصحيح من الإصابة بمخلفات الحرب والنقل بطريقة آمنة للوصول للمشفى، بالإضافة إلى تزويدهم بأرقام تواصل لسهولة الوصول. نتمنى من هذا النشاط يخفف عن أهالينا هنيك ويخفف من الإصابات ويأمن لهم عودة آمنة. Thank you.
Yeah, so Hannah kind of already alluded to this, but the curriculum is World Health Organization aligned. It's been developed by experts such as the guys from the Explosive Weapons Trauma Care Collective, and also Paul and the Paediatric Blast Injury team have been involved in the curriculum as well. So it does have a specific element for children and just really emphasizes just getting on there as fast as possible, because we know that any delay in children is absolutely deadly, because they just they don't have the physiological reserve to survive for as long as an adult might do. So it really emphasizes getting hands on quickly and just breaking that inertia that sometimes happens when something bad has happened and people kind of stand around and don't really know what to do. We've all seen it when things happen in the street in front of us. Often the first impulse is to get your phone out or just stand there because you're stunned, and that's fair enough. Even I, as a clinician, sometimes have that feeling of hesitation when approaching an injured child, and we need to get over that and help people just have the confidence to get over that and get hands-on as quickly as possible. And that's what this curriculum emphasises. So just to finish up on that, at the moment we've got the curriculum translated into Arabic. It's ready to go. Dr. Mervat and I have been going through it over the last few days, and we're going to start the training of our staff in the next couple of weeks. It's still going through the approvals process with the Ministry of Health in Syria, but inshallah, as soon as we receive that, we'll be able to start rolling the training out. And just to also say, we're not proprietary about this at all. We're very, very happy to share that. I've forgotten to put my contact details on the slide, but I'm sure we'll work it out somehow. If people want access to this or just want to have a look at it, then get hold of me somehow, and we'll work it out. Because we just want to get this out there. We don't care who does it. Let's just get it done. Okay, that's it. Thank you.